When tourists visit Yellowstone, they expect a quiet, idyllic landscape. Millions gather every year to watch the geysers, specifically waiting for the famous eruption of Old Faithful. But those visitors are standing on top of an enormous underground network. Beneath the waterfalls and the wildlife is a supervolcano, powered by a massive system of heat, fluids, and expanding magma. This timeline charts Yellowstone's three major historical eruptions, dating back 2.1 million, 1.3 million, and 631,000 years ago. Looking at these massive gaps, a common myth has emerged that the volcano is somehow overdue for another blast. In reality, geological forces do not operate on a predictable schedule or a countdown clock. Scientists continuously monitor the area, measuring seismic activity and hydrothermal changes. They monitor it not because an eruption is imminent, but because Yellowstone offers a rare window into Earth's most powerful geological systems. If the magma were to break to the surface again, the explosion itself would be devastating locally. But the true threat to humanity would be a silent, cascading disaster that ripples outward, testing the structural limits of modern civilization. The earliest signs of a genuine eruption wouldn't come from the sky, but from the ground. Intense localized earthquakes and ground deformation would occur. Scientists look for simultaneous shifts across multiple indicators before ordering evacuations. In a worst-case scenario, immense pressure overwhelms the crust. The ground breaks open, blasting a towering, violent column of ash directly into the atmosphere. This geological map highlights Yellowstone's central caldera region. The immediate explosive destruction, including lethal pyroclastic flows, would be largely confined to this specific localized zone. While the immediate region would suffer intense physical destruction, the rest of the continent would face a highly pervasive and completely different kind of threat. Volcanic ash behaves nothing like the soft smoke from a forest fire. At a microscopic level, it is made of jagged rock and glass fragments. Driven by wind patterns, enormous quantities of this incredibly heavy material would drift and settle far beyond the blast zone. The sheer volume of falling rock and glass would quickly contaminate vital water supplies. Because ash is abrasive and conductive, it targets mechanical systems. It clogs jet engines, breaks down supply chains, and short-circuits electrical grids. A supereruption does not require lava to conquer a continent. A few inches of falling rock is highly efficient at paralyzing physical infrastructure entirely. When the eruption reaches the stratosphere, massive quantities of sulfur dioxide convert into sulfate aerosols. These particles act like a mirror, reflecting sunlight back into space. By blocking solar radiation, this triggers a sudden, measurable drop in global temperatures. A cooler planet disrupts the water cycle, causing global rainfall patterns to shift rapidly. For farmers, this translates directly to unpredictable growing seasons, massive crop failures, and depleted harvests. The true mechanism of disaster moves away from the volcano itself. A localized geological event mutates in the atmosphere, creating a severe, cascading global food crisis. Which brings up the ultimate question: would this chain reaction trigger the extinction of humanity? The short answer is no. Humans are highly adaptable. We possess the scientific knowledge, global communication networks, and technological tools to survive extreme environmental shocks. However, biological survival is entirely different from preserving modern civilization. As agriculture fails and energy grids short out, the highly optimized global supply chains and international trade agreements that keep nations functioning would severely fracture. Looking at this sequence, the ripple effect becomes clear. A geological event forces a sudden climate shift. That climate shift causes agricultural failure, and agricultural failure places immense, potentially ruinous pressure on the global economy. Yellowstone serves as a reminder of our vulnerability. The greatest disasters do not have to flatten cities to cause chaos. They simply have to dismantle the invisible, deeply interconnected systems that keep our modern world alive.